Hey, what's up guys, Drip Drop here, and today we're going to be ranking every single level in Kirby's Epic Yarn. Now there's a lot more levels in this game than I thought there were. I always remembered this as being kind of a shorter game, but this game has 43 levels, because 7 worlds, 6 levels in each world, and plus Patch Castle at the start of the game, little tutorial level, so yeah, that's 43. Of course, you know, 2 levels in each world are secret bonus levels, but still, I mean, 43 levels, that's a lot of levels to get through. Not as much as the fucking 233 Donkey Kong levels, but game's a little beefier than I thought. So first thing I want to get into is this game does not have a bad level. This is a very good game and a very, cute game, a very happy game, a very well-designed game. And so this video is not going to be very negative like some of my other ones. For the most part, I have very positive things to say about this video game. It's a very solid line of quality. The bottom 3 levels are a little hit or miss, but, for the most part, this game does not have a bad level. So, and it's weird because this game can't really be ranked how other games are. Most games are ranked by challenge, by fairness, by difficulty, by just atmosphere. But this game's just kind of different because this game kind of has this whole arts and crafts theme. And so when I do this ranking, I'm thinking how fun is the level to play and how well did the mechanics of like this cutesy arts and crafts kind of happy feeling level rank compared to the other ones, It's not more so of a challenge or anything because you can't even die in this game. So this really is kind of different for me because usually I like the challenge, but this one's just it's just a happy, good feeling level. So we're gonna be ranking it off the vibes, off the atmosphere, off the just how does it make you feel? Do you like playing it? Is it fun? Is it creative? Does the arts and crafts kind of theming mesh well with the level? And a lot of the times it does. So yeah, I don't really have too much to say here, 2-minute intro. Let's just get it on, like Kirby Kong. Yeah, this game's actually kind of underrated. A lot of people say it's like one of the best Kirby games, but the people that have never played it, like, have no idea what they're missing out on. So, if you haven't played this game, please do it. It's fucking fantastic. And as fantastic as this game is, this level is not. The problem with this level isn't even the theming or anything, it's just the gameplay. You have to control with the train mechanic, which I don't need to tell you is the worst part of this game. If you're playing a 2D platformer and you're sitting back relaxing, the last thing you want to do is fucking sit up and aim your remote and draw all over the screen to try to beat the level. And it's just not fun. It's frustrating. But it is a secret level though, so if you're, beating through the game, you don't have to play this level, so that's one good thing about it. The theming's pretty cool too. It's like a chocolate station, and it is a cool atmosphere, but the train gameplay, it just ain't it. Now, you already know auto-scrollers are kind of ass, but you're gonna have an auto-scroller where it stops like every 5 seconds, and you have to rewind the auto-scroller so it can go back to auto-scrolling? Come on, man. I mean, it's a fine level, but that in itself is just such a disgusting principle to even put this level in my face. But I'll still play it though, because this game's fun as fuck. Even the shitty levels are fun. I don't care. You can just kill all the enemies on this level, and it'll go by pretty fast, even though it is kind of a slower auto-scroller. One thing, this doesn't really affect the list, but it's really annoying because this level in specific has some really annoying collectibles where if you miss them, you have to go and replay the whole last level, and you got to remember where they are. And, while it doesn't drag the level down on this video, personally, it just makes me hate it just a little bit more. But it's still a fine time. Temper Temple kind of has the same feels as Evergreen Lift, but it's a little bit more fun. The vibe's a little bit more cooler, and you get a different game mode to play as, which, unlike the train, the fire truck, while not as fun as regular gameplay, it's still fine. Actually putting out the fires can be a little interesting the first couple times you play the level, and the fact you have to kill the enemies to get some of the collectibles is pretty neat too. But, it's still an auto-scroller, and you do just kind of have to do a lot of waiting, but at least in this one, you kind of get different pathways you can take when the platforms kind of diverge onto different pathways, so that's pretty cool. But, it's still not fantastic or anything, but, it's fine. I don't even know if it's fair to include this level as a level on this list, but Patch Castle, it's just a tutorial, I don't think y'all are expecting this to be super high or anything, so I'm just going to put this here. I don't really have a lot to say about it. It just teaches you how to play the game. It's fine. It's whatever. Now, I got a personal vendetta against this level. This is easily the most frustrating level in this game, but it's not the worst. It's just, there's a lot of waiting here, and if you go at the wrong timing, your ass is getting sent way the fuck back down, and then you gotta, like, it's like Getting Over It. If you've ever played Getting Over It, you've played Tempest Towers. You just keep climbing all the way up, and one little mistake, and oh, you go all the way back down, and it's just as annoying as it sounds. But the wind mechanic is still pretty unique, and the music, butter building, oh my god. It's almost enough to make me put it at number 1 on the list, but I won't, because this level kinda pisses me off. Next up, we got Mole Hole. Now, I don't know who Mole is, but I don't want anything to do with this hole. And as for the level Mole Hole, there's so much stuff going on that you might say, holy moly. Nah, really though, there's not too much going on here. You just play as a mole, the mole power-up, and you just dig through, like, this cotton, fluffy stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the mole power-up. I'm not really a huge fan of most of the power-ups in this game. I'm not sure if you've noticed. But the mole one, you know, it's just kind of lame. But this level's interesting enough to where you can just keep burrowing down, 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 and just keep digging deeper until you finally just reach the end of the level. It's a very free, open level. You can kind of just do whatever you want until you reach the end. And, you know, it's not really a level. It's just more of a sandbox where you just kind of explore and then, you know, finish the level. It's fine. Now, I like Cool Cave. I think it's fine. You know, it has some pretty fun sections, you know, where you shrink down into a little line and kind of sneak through these skinny little caverns in the cave. But this level does one unforgivable sin. It has the most retarded section in the entire game. The part where those big-ass rock stalagmites, is that what they're called? I don't know what they're called. The things that fall, the pointy, sharp rocks and caves that fall down into the ground, you know what I'm talking about. I already know. You know, the things in Minecraft where when you jump on them, you take, like, double damage. There's a part where you got a platform on them, and they keep falling, and you got to jump from rock to rock as they're falling down, and that part gives your boy a fucking aneurysm. I just simply cannot put this level any higher when it has that just terrible, terrible section. The rest of the level's fine, though. Fossil Reef is probably the most forgettable level in this game, and it does have the most boring atmosphere, but it is an underwater dolphin level, so you already know it's pretty fun. The dolphin power-up is probably the most fluid and fun one out of all of them to play as, and so any level that has the dolphin is just going to be pretty fucking gangster. But this one, you know, like I said, it's just forgettable. There's nothing really unique about this level, but it doesn't do anything too bad to put it any lower than this, so yeah, I think this is a fair spot. The best part about Weird Woods is definitely the atmosphere. Compared to the rest of World 1, this beautiful, lush green trees on this illuminated, dark, serenity sky, man, you just gotta love it, man. The gameplay is an auto-scroller, and you do play as the UFO, which is one of the better transformations, I suppose. And you got a cool little boss fight in this level, too, but, you know, it is still an auto-scroller, but, you know, the vibes carry it pretty hard here. I enjoy running through this one, then on repeat playthroughs, and this one does feel like a pretty secret level too. I think this one out of most of the levels definitely feels like a true secret level that you got to go out of your way to unlock. The theming of Dino Jungle is so fucking good, and there is quite a few really fun sections in this level. But there is also a good majority of the level that has some pretty boring sections where you gotta ride the dinosaur head through the rapid waters, and that part's kind of like a boring auto-scroller. But the rest of the level is really good, but unfortunately the part that's not that fun does last quite a long time, so it definitely does drag this otherwise great level down quite a bit. But, you know, I mean, it's a level based off fucking dinosaurs. I mean, it has to be pretty cool, don't it? Mushroom Run is fun, but it does get a little bit repetitive. Having bouncing mushrooms is a cool concept, but when it's just the same, you know, kind of like thing the whole level, it does get a little stale near the end. But all in all, the mechanic's fun, and the layout's pretty interesting too. I don't think there's a lot they could have done to improve this mechanic. I think it was just, it's just a mid-level, you know, midway through the game, and it's not a bad level. It's very fun, but I do just think it gets a little stale near the end, but you know, I mean, it's a fun mechanic in the first place, so overusing it a little is kind of fine with me. Moonbase as a level is a very interesting concept and a very just cool atmosphere, and the backgrounds and the enemies and everything's cool about it. But I do just think the tank power-up is much better when it's at the end of the level rather than a whole level based on it, because I think it's much fun when you only do it for about 45 to 45 seconds to 2 minutes worth of tank gameplay at the end of an already kind of longer level instead of a whole level where you play as the tank. I just feel like the gameplay of the tank isn't interesting enough to where it can last a whole level. And so that's why Moonbase is this low. I would have loved if this was a regular level and then at the end you turn into a tank. That would have made this level probably in the top 10 levels of the game. But unfortunately, it's just, you just play as a tank the whole time. The tanks, it's almost impossible to have any challenge at all. As the tank, you just shoot and go forward. But, it's fun, and you get moon gravity, so you can jump a little bit higher with the tank on this level compared to other levels. And like I said, it's an interesting idea and stuff, but I just think it could have been executed a bit better. Stellar Starway is very similar to Moonbase, and they are both right next to each other in game, so it makes sense. But just like the tank, I think a whole level based off the the star shooter spaceship kind of thing is just not unique enough to really warrant a whole level based on it when the level itself is just kind of a blank night sky background. There's not a whole lot going on. It's just kind of just like an arcade shoot 'em up kind of thing going on. But I do think that the starship shooter kind of transformation is much more interesting as a whole level than the tank. But really, you could swap this and a Moonbase, back and forth, depending on which one you prefer. I just prefer the starship gameplay a bit more. And it has a cool little boss fight at the end. Yeah, but as a level itself, it's just kind of boring. It's very heavily carried by the game, by the transformation, obviously. Big Bean Vine has a very, very, very good atmosphere. I love the clouded kind of area with the big bean stalk going through it. The only problem with it is waiting for the balloons can be a little bit annoying, and you can get a little bit bored waiting for the balloons to go up. But you can platform from balloon to balloon and just ride them up, and just overall it's a very fun, happy level. It's just you can do a little bit of waiting here and there on this level. But it's nothing to complain about. This is a very solid level. Mountain Slide's a pretty fun one. The penguin surfing mechanic isn't my necessarily favorite power-up, but you can get some pretty juicy combos going with this thing. However, if you do fuck up your combo, you can slow down to a fucking crawl. But for the most part, it's pretty fun. You got the trees bouncing you up, and just the snow kind of vibe and atmosphere. You gotta love it, man. And you can get the double jumps and get some crazy combos that way, and this one's just a pretty neat one. However, I think Rainbow Falls is a bit better than Mountain Slide, because even though Mountain Slide has a better penguin part, Rainbow Falls has a cute little platforming part at the beginning that's pretty fun and has a couple secrets hidden here and there. And then, the penguin part at the end of Rainbow Falls ain't bad either, and I think the atmosphere is a hell of a lot better in this one too, having the water kind of boosting you forward. And just, I don't know, I just think I like this one a lot more. I like the vibe a lot more, but they're pretty neck and neck too. I mean, I could understand someone preferring the other one. This is just my preference. I think Rainbow Falls is a little bit better, but they are on the same caliber. Sweets Park theming fits so well. All the different pastries and desserts you're platforming all over are so fun. It's like a little obstacle course gauntlet where you're going through, and this level can be a little bit tricky too. So, for such an easy game, this is one of the harder levels, I'd say, and it's already in World 3, so one of the harder levels coming up pretty dang early. Gotta respect it though. And just the whole atmosphere, like I said, you platforming on all these delicious desserts and stuff. You got a secret part where you can turn into the mole for a secret. Most people won't even find that secret up there, but if you go to it, you'll be rewarded pretty heavily with a whole cool little section. The only reason that this level's so low is because I really don't like the flan factory part. I could have done without that. But, for the rest of the level, it's, bringing its A game, man. This course is great, but platforming on all the little flan things are, it's just not my cup of tea, man. Do not be scared. Do not be alarmed. I am not being forced to say that I like an auto-scroller level, because I'll come out and say it. It's a good one. I just love the theme of just these boats being crashed with bombs and sinking while you're supposed to be using them as a safe haven from the water. I just love the whole concept of the level gradually becoming more and more dangerous as like this war-torn fucking battlefield. Boatyard is such a good name for the level, and it just describes everything perfectly. And then at the end you start getting these fucking guys that start shooting the big rockets and start crashing the boats down. And there's even like 1 or 2 little mini bosses that are only in this level, and they're pretty fun to fight. You got to catch the bullet and throw them back at them. And this is just a pretty classic level. You know, the water world is a generally pretty slower world. You know, and this level's pretty slow too. But this one has a lot more going on. Where, you know, we haven't gotten to the really good water levels yet. But the water levels in this game are good because they're, you know, calming and peaceful. We'll get there. But this one is a completely different way. You do not want to get in the water because you do not want to sink down into the unknown. And these guys are trying to sink your boats to get you in there. And it's just a great time all around. The only thing that's a little annoying is getting the collectibles, because it is an auto-scroller, so if you miss it, you have to start the level all over again. Because, you know, you can't die, so you can't start back from a checkpoint. But, you know, it is what it is. This is a great one. Snowfields kind of has a different pace compared to a lot of the other levels in this game. It's very open, and there's a lot of elevation. You can go up top, you can go down low, you can go inside these chimneys and buildings, and, you know, while it only gives you a couple gems and beads and whatnot, there's just a lot of exploration. You can go around and enter all these different buildings and just kind of fuck around. There's a whole lot of like secret little cavities in the wall you can go get beads from. You can just find all these secret collectibles and treasures. And then the main path itself is pretty simple. It's just kind of like a little obstacle course. But, you know, I think it just flows together pretty well. You got the enemies that throw the big snowballs at you, which can get a little annoying if you get stuck in them. But you can also jump on top of them and use them to reach heights. So, you know, you can use them just as much as they can be used to harm you. I think that's a pretty good balance of the mechanic. And just overall, it's nothing crazy, but I think it's placed pretty well in the game, and it's a pretty fun time. Pyramid Sands does great with atmosphere. You got this dry, arid vibe going on. You got quicksand pulling you down. You got dusty, dirty tornadoes slinging you around everywhere. And it just comes together very well. And at the end, you got this little racetrack with the... I don't even know, a monster truck, a dune buggy car. I don't even know what you'd consider this transformation, but it fits the level somehow. Even though it's not very long, it's one of the more memorable parts of the game, your first time becoming this race car. It's just a fun time, fun level. For some reason, I don't know why every kind of desert world or desert level in a game is also synonymous with like spikes and sharp objects, but this level has that too, with sharp spears and a spiked ball. I'm not just talking about Kirby. I don't know why desert things just always have spiky kind of things. Like in Mario, it has the fucking pokey, the big tall spiky guys. In Donkey Kong, the desert level kind of had the bobbing bazoyas, whatever it's called, them like them spiked fruits. So I don't know what's up with desert levels and having sharp objects. I don't know where that came from. I don't know the first game to do that shit, but you know, it's here too. Rolling on in is Future City. Now in Future City, you are going to be spending a lot of time playing on these train cart kind of things where they're just kind of, you got to go along this moving train vehicle that's kind of pulling you around. It kind of plays like that one secret level in the volcano world of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Probably my favorite level in the entire game. Unfortunately, Future City is not my favorite level in this game, but it's still fine, you know. Halfway through, well, not really halfway through, kind of intermittently, you're kind of jumping in and off of the train cart. Kind of, I don't even know what to call this, like a space train station thing. I don't know. You're jumping from the vehicle to land, and then you turn into a fucking UFO, and then you're sucking shit up. You know, I gotta say, I love my boy Kirby, but why is your main mechanic? You're really good at sucking things up. I mean, you could have any other power. Why is your power unfathomable head, bro? Seriously, what? Come on now. But, yeah, you know, you play as the UFO, and then, you know, you're jumping back onto the vehicles, and then at the end you get two vehicles that are kind of looping between each other, and you jump on each one to get the optimal treasure and the most amount of beads, and it's just a fun time. It's pretty fast-paced. The train does kind of slow down at some points, and then you kind of want to try to make a big jump to cross a gap, and then you end up not making the gap, and then it brings you all the way back to the start of the train section, and now you got to wait double the amount of time, and you just look like a total dumbass. Fountain Gardens is the real first level of the game. I mean, Patch Castle is a cool little tutorial, but this is, this is when the game really starts. And man, it is just so peaceful. It's just so beautiful. You got little pockets of water you can find. You got secrets where you go up through like this cloud's mouth and get spat out in the air. You can climb the trees. You can just keep finding all these treasures. It's just such a beautiful atmosphere. The fucking enemies don't even do damage. A lot of the enemies in this level don't even damage you. They just jump on you and then they just squeak because they're so cute. They literally just do not damage you at all. And obviously the ending of this level is just the most perfect and beautiful way to finish this soothing, peaceful, calm atmosphere by becoming a fucking tank. If you are watching this video in the middle of the night, and that either woke up your parents and they came in and whooped your ass, or it almost gave you a heart attack, I apologize. I could have turned it down in editing, but nah, I kept that section loud as fuck because I thought it was funny. And I know that you're not going to trust me for the rest of this video, but I promise you there are no more loud sections like that. Or maybe there are. Okay, that was the last one. I promise. I promise. Y'all can trust me. And you know how you know you can trust me? Because I put Blub Ocean this high on the list. Now, you might be saying, now, what the hell is a water level doing up this high? And I'm telling you, this dolphin power-up is a game changer. Any level that has the dolphin power-up is fun. Fossil Reefs earlier, that level's mid as hell, but the dolphin saves it. Here, the level's already a good level, so the dolphin just elevates it. It's a pretty basic level all around, so I don't really have like a lot to say. I don't even really remember any particular section of this level, but I just remember it's bright, it's fun, it's cute, it's colorful, and it's just a nice kind of vibe to chill around. And yeah, just please trust me. There's no more loudness in this video. I promise. I'm a gentle man. Listen, just trust me. There's no more loud sections. You can trust me. I love day-night cycles, man. I really like it when it's not a time-based thing and you can choose when it becomes day and night, and that's exactly what you do here. You start off this level in a very calm, cold, kind of empty, lifeless atmosphere at nighttime, and then you wake the sun up, and then it's just bright, it's beautiful, it's so cute, it's awesome. You want to be here. You want to be a vacation here. This level feels like a vacation. I don't even really have, too much to really say about this level other than it's fun. There's some cool water sections here. There is no dolphin power-up, unfortunately, but this level doesn't need it because it's majorly like land. But it is a good clash between land and water. I do like that in games with like water sections in land levels. I don't really like full-on water levels, but like little pockets of water in land levels always hit. I swear. They hit in Donkey Kong Country 3, them Lakeside limbo levels. Oh my god, those are so good. If you watch my video, you would know that I ranked them up kind of high. They're pretty fire. I think you should go check that video out. As a matter of fact, watch all of them, man. I need the watch time. I'm going hungry. Deep Dive Deep is by far the best water level in this game. And while I'm not a huge fan of underwater levels, obviously, no fucking shit, duh. I think the best way to do a water level, if you're going to do one, is have it deep, have it dark, have it scary, have it unsettling. Be in the unknown with all these other scary water creatures, And this level has that. It has broken ship remains of people that have crashed and died here. It has these scary fish that want to eat you and kill you, and they chase you, and you cannot kill them. You have to run. It's super fun. And just everything about this level is just so fucking cool. Its atmosphere is just so good. Even with this cutesy, everything in this level is so fucking cute. You get to this level, you're like, what the hell happened? What the fuck's going on? And man, oh man, is it a fucking great level. It's a great level to end the world on too. And just, man, Deep Dive Deep. I never really remember this level as being one of the greats, but replaying it again for this video, I'm like, holy shit, this one is a smoking gun. Put this shit up on the best water level in the game. From one of the most dark and unnerving to one of the most bright and lively, we got Secret Island. Now, when you think of scaling through a big jungle or a big forest, you kind of think of a scary, dark kind of atmosphere of being in danger. Rainforests are one of the most dangerous places to be in the world. But in this level, it feels more like an adventure. It feels more like a journey. And you just, you're solving puzzles, you're getting through here, you're platforming on birds,
you're fucking going from the background to the foreground, and you're just doing all sorts of weird shit, and then you're riding balloons again from Big Bean Vine, and there's just so much going on this level. You don't know what the hell's happening, but you're just having a good time in a world full of water levels. To have one level that has not one lick of water, it's kind of nice. Even though I like the water levels in this game, it's kind of nice to not have the water in this level. I will say though, and I don't know if this is a critique or not, but I will say this is the most video game feeling level in the game. Like, every other level kind of feels like it's like a world, it's like a real place in this Kirby world, but this level definitely feels like a video game level. I mean, you got ladders kind of floating in the sky randomly, you know, you just got random people riding balloons randomly in the sky, and you just got like weird blocks all over kind of keeping you from where you need to go. And I understand each level has this here and there, but like this one, like it really does just feel like a video game level. But it's still a very cool one, and its atmosphere is very cool. Like I said, I don't know if that's even really that much of a critique or not, but I just thought it was important to kind of say. Meta Melon Isle does a thing that a lot of games do that I absolutely fucking love. And it's where it's one of the last levels or the last level in the game. It gives you almost all the power-ups and goes, listen, you've experienced all the content. Here's one last level. Go absolutely crazy with all these power-ups. And I absolutely love it. You go from the car to the where do you go from? You go from the car to the fire extinguisher, to the dolphin, to the train. Could have lived without that. Into the surfing bird. I wanna what's the word? The bird's the word, and he's surfing. You gotta love the surfing bird. And just even though I kind of wish that all the power-ups were in here, the ones that they chose fit the level pretty well. Even though I don't like the train power-up too much, the little train section that's in this level, it fits, I guess. But yeah, I just love when games do that. One game that comes to mind specifically for this, and I don't know if any homie watching this video has ever played this game, but it's called Mad World, and the last level of the game gives you every single weapon to kill people with. Oh, I absolutely love that game, and I absolutely love that level. But we're talking about Kirby, you know. I don't know how the fuck you go from this cute hunky-dory game to fucking murdering people. In Mad World, there's literally a one boss you spank her to death. It's like, what is going on in this game, bro? Let's bring her back to Kirby now. But I don't know, he's not much better. Like I said earlier, his fucking superpower is giving the maximum suck. Someone's gotta arrest this guy. Now, there may be a small, minute, itsy-bitsy speck of nostalgia going into this spot here, but when I say itsy-bitsy, I mean more itsy-bitsy than the motherfucking itsy-bitsy spider that climbed up the water spout, and down came the rain and washed that motherfucker clean out. But no, Wispy Forest is a great level. It feels literally almost exactly like an old school Kirby level, but it still flows with the new Kirby playstyle of Epic Yarn very well. You got the cool little fight at the end with the against Wispy Woods and the tank, obviously. But my personal favorite part is the little yellow bear with the I guess not yellow, I guess he's more beige. The fucking beige bear. He's my favorite enemy in every Kirby game. Bears are my favorite animal, and that's my favorite enemy in Kirby ever. I don't even know his name. I don't even know what levels he's in. All I know is that he's in this one, and he's a GOAT. He's an OG. He's a homie, and I love him. But no, seriously, like this level, it plays exactly like an old school Kirby level. I mean, it's very, very, very well put together. You know, you got some of the cannon blasting. You know, you got some rooms you can go in and just explore, just kind of go out of the way and go to like a whole little gauntlet of challenge, just cause, you know, why not? And then, you know, like I said at the end, you got a cool little boss fight. It's just, I don't know. I love this level. I feel like it's definitely in almost everyone's upper echelon of this game. At least in the top half. You know, you gotta have it in the top half. You gotta. Flowerfields fits this game like a fucking glove, dude. It's like, this whole aesthetic of this level just is perfect for this game. And it's a very simple level. It's the second level of the game. But goddamn, is it just amazing to play. It's very fluid. Each mechanic and each like set piece of the level is so fucking fun to just play around with. You got the big flower like platforms that rotate that you collect beads on. It's the introductory of the flying saucer UFO kind of thing, which is cool. You know, it's a cool transformation. But also, I don't know why I like this section of the level so much, but like halfway through the level, there's like a 20-second part where you're in like this weird, like, flooded, rainy area, and it's like this short little storm, and it just comes out of nowhere, and it doesn't fit the level at all, but at the same time, it fits the level completely. It is so weird, and I love this little section so much. I don't know what it is, but it's just like this weird pocket of just, I don't know. I'm pretty biased because I really like storms in games. Well, I like storms in real life, but just this little pocket of just serenity and rain and just this Flowerfield Garden is just so perfect. You know, you're fucking swinging on frog tongues. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this level has the floating flower where you swing up this floating flower, kind of, you know, gliding into the air, and just, oh, it's just, man, I really like this one. Even though there's not a whole lot going on, even though it's very simple, second level of the game, like I said, it's just good vibes all around. Battleship Halberd is one of the coolest levels in the game for quite a few reasons. The main one being you're duking it out in the fucking Battleship Halberd. But also, you're playing in the sideways star shooter, which is just such a fun game mode to play as, man. Even though the whole level's an auto-scroller, it's a fun one, man. You know? Just the whole sideways star shooter gameplay is just so fun, and this level has so many, you know, new enemies, especially like the pyramid boss kind of thing going on, or not pyramid, but like diamond, and like the metallic. It's kind of hard to explain because when I record, I'm like looking at like the recording screen, so I'm not looking at the level exactly right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about, like the green, yellow, flashing red diamond thing that you have to duke out like several times throughout this level. And at the end, there's the big one, and just and oh yeah, and then there's the cannons, the big cannons that shoot at you too that you got to take out. And just, you know, everything about this level is just, it's just so fucking good. I love the sideways star shooter mechanic. I know that's like the third time I'm saying it, but I mean, I just really want to drill in how fun it is to use. Even though it is hella easy to just kill everything and anything in your way with it, it's just fun to use, man. You just feel like a total fucking powerhouse. And, you know, like I said, the atmosphere is amazing. The halberd is amazing. It's an amazing set piece. One of the coolest levels in all of Kirby, period. Not this level. Well, this level, but also just the halberd in general. Like, just such an amazing, you know, set piece of the series. And for it to be the final level of the game is just immaculate. You oughta love Outer Rings. I tried to make that work. It didn't. Let's just move on. Outer Rings is an amazing level. So it starts off with you fucking jumping on like planets and stars and like galaxy lines while a fucking meteor shower's coming down on you, and then you jump into like this laboratory, and just everything in this level is like orbiting around something. It's just so cool. And then you got this big orbit with like a bunch of things orbiting around the main orbit, and you're swinging around, and it's super cool. And then you all remember Stellar Starway from earlier in the list? Well, the half of this level is Stellar Starway. So why the hell would you ever go play Stellar Starway when you could just play this level that's half rocket, half level? Why would you ever play a level that's full rocket instead of just playing one that's half and half? And I think the rocket section in this level is actually a little bit better than Stellar Starway, which is all around just a whole rocket level. It's like, what the hell were they thinking, putting Stellar Starway in the same game as Outer Rings? It outshines it in every way. We got the first number on this list that's on the clock. Coming in at number 12, we got Mysterious UFO. Now, what makes Mysterious UFO so cool? Well, I'll tell you. It's a space station in space. You know, you might be thinking, okay, well, there's a bunch of other levels that are in space. Yeah, but this one has zero gravity. Now, that's just cool, man. I mean, obviously, space stations aren't anything new. You know, it looks exactly how you think a space station would look. But the idea of zero gravity, and especially because this game kind of relies on ground pounding, the fact that you have to turn the gravity off in order to ground pound some sections because you can't ground pound in zero gravity, it sets up some interesting puzzles. And you got some rotating blocks, well, not really blocks, but like rotating like spheres that you gotta click, and like they fucking change all over, and you gotta make sure it's in the right rotation to jump up. And it's just a pretty dynamic level, and it's pretty fun. And even though I said the atmosphere is a little generic and basic, you know, it's still like a fucking space station. That's just cool. To tell you all the truth, at one point, this was my favorite level in the game. Because I just thought it was the most different, it was the most unique, and it just felt out of place. And I still stand by that. I do think this is the most different and weird level in the game. It literally does not play like it belongs in this game. But I've started to notice some flaws with it. Obviously, I mean, it's still damn near one away from the top 10. But I just did want to say that, you know, to my older self, you know, who would be disappointed that this level did not crack the top 10, because it used to be my number 1. So let's start off with the good. It looks incredible. The atmosphere is amazing. The dark gimmick, and you have to use the little light, and you have to like whirl up the ghosts and use their dead, deceased corpses to light your way through. That's just tough. I don't know what else to say. That is fucking maniacal, diabolical, fucking villainous. But you know, some things that do draw it back for me though are it's very linear, you know, which a lot of these levels are, but this level is especially super fucking linear. And number two, there's some weird water sections that just do not fit the level at all. They are just not fun to play. They don't last too long, but still, it's like, why the fuck would you put a water level in, or why would you put a water section in this level, man? It's a haunted house. Fucking Mario Kart 8 did that same shit too. They made half the fucking Twisted Mansion a sewer water level. What is up with fucking Nintendo and making haunted house levels water levels? Stop doing it. It sucks. Fucking Luigi's Mansion. Whole game was a haunted house. Do you remember a water level? Hell no. There was one room that had the water spout and you turned off the water. That's what you need to do in every haunted house level. Turn off the water. Get rid of the water. Fuck's sake. Still number 11 though. This level is really fun. I love this one. Dusk Dune is that dude leading y'all into the top 10. Now before we even talk about that gameplay, can we just talk about the visuals here for the atmosphere? This beautiful night sky around this nice town in the background. This, I don't even know what that's called. I know I see it in movies all the time. I don't even know what that kind of setting is called, but it looks pretty. It's in the desert. You know, and then of course the gameplay, you're racing. The race isn't too hard. You know, it's the second race of the game. So you know, they're still taking a little light on you, but still it's you know, it can trip you up, and you have to use the boost accordingly to boost through some rocks, because if you don't, then you'll just hit the rock and then lose all your speed and momentum and look like a dumbass. But yeah, you gotta time your jumps, gotta hit the boost right, gotta go through the right rocks. Sometimes you want to go through the rocks, sometimes you want to jump over them. You just kind of gotta know, you know, find all these secrets, go different routes. You know, there's not too much going on, but it's just a fun time, and you always gotta love competing for first. That being said though, Frigid Fjord is just better in every single aspect other than atmosphere. I will give Dusk Dunes the better atmosphere, but look, I've already been talking for what, 8 seconds now, and you can already see how much the layout is just way more rigid, way more frantic, way cooler. It's way later in the game, so they're going to throw a little bit more challenge at you. Even though it's literally impossible to lose, you're still struggling to get first. Maybe, actually, I don't know. I didn't. It was still pretty easy for me, but it's definitely a lot tougher. You know, the race just feels a lot more frantic, and there's a lot more racers this time. There's like fucking 20 people racing. Like, I don't know why they added so many new racers, but it's just funny. You just see all of them fucking rain down at the start. It looks so goofy. But yeah, there's so many different paths you can go. It's just the ground itself, the terrain is just so rugged and dangerous. It really does feel like a fucking snowy mountain. I just gotta say, the snow world is probably the most consistently good world in this entire game. It's not my necessarily favorite world, but it's probably the most consistent. The snow world's pretty damn great. But as for Frigid Fjord, you know, pretty much said everything I gotta say. It's just a cool fucking race. Now, even though this level threatens you with immediate death and crushing your skull and flattening you into a little piece of yarn, Cozy Cabins is one of the most soothing, calming levels in just the entire game. Probably the most soothing in the entire game. Like I said, even though the ceiling is constantly coming down and ready to kill you, it's just been a personal thing where I just love this cozy, you know, cabin theme. You know, the harsh outside winds blowing you around everywhere, and then you go inside the cabin for some nice warmth. It looks so beautiful on the inside. All these little pictures hung up on the walls, just so much detail. And then, you know, you kind of gotta play fast. And so, actually, now that I think about it, maybe playing fast is kind of like heated movement, kind of like you kind of got that frantic heat, you know, kind of tension going on. And then once you're outside, there's no more tension, and it's just cold and desolate and empty. But then once you go back in the cabin, it's hot and the tensions are rising again because the ceiling's coming down. That probably wasn't intentional, but, you know, maybe it was. And then you got the end where you got the parachute winds, you know, like where you got to like use the wind in your parachute form to collect all the collectibles. You got the part where you can go on all the trees. There's just so much cool parts here. And, you know, it's, I really love cabin aesthetic, you know. And I don't know if this is biased or not, putting it up this high. I don't know if a lot of people like this level as much as I do, but I always remember this one quite a bit. Now, when Tube Town does not make it into the top 5, you know you got some solid fucking levels in your game. Because before I made this list, I said Tube Town is for sure a top 3 level. Motherfucker, it wasn't even a top 5. And it's still just such a good level, man. This game is so good, I can't handle it. I've gone too long without talking about this game. I see nobody ever talking about this game online. I'm bringing justice to Kirby's epic yarn. Tube Town. Look at it. What do I say? Look at it. Look how cool it is. Listen to the music. Boom, 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 boom. The space world is not my favorite world, but it probably is the coolest one. And this is the coolest and best level in the coolest world. So, you know, Tube Town is just that guy. I really don't even have a lot to put into, like, there's just so much going on. I don't even really know what to focus on. Like, the fact that, like, the blue kind of sparks kind of circle around the platforms. You got to time your jumps. The fact that there's parts where it moves up and down and, like, you have to enter cavities on the left and right to get past it moving. It's so hard to explain this level if you're not playing it. But you know how, like, you got to go in the different cavities to avoid being lifted up or taken down, and you got a platform, and just, like, it keeps repeating several... This level's doing too much, man. We gotta move on. I don't know how else to depict this level other than just look at the damn screen. Come on now. Castle DDD is the last level of the game if you are not going for secret levels, and man oh man does it feel like it. Great platforming challenges, great difficulty, great enemy variety, great set pieces, great just atmosphere, overall grandiose, you know, fucking feeling. It's just the right amount of blend of, you know, classic old DDD levels and also new epic yarn mechanics and gimmicks. And it really does feel like the ending to just a very, very, very powerful and good game. And, you know, it does boost up the difficulty quite a bit, you know. It's fun, it's fair, it's some of the best platforming challenges in the entire game. Not one part feels unfair. It's just tricky and it's fun. And there's these little rooms where you can go in and just fight like a wave of enemies. You know, just do a little enemy wave real quick. And it's completely out of the way too. They're just for secrets. It's just everything about this level is just so fun. It's so themed properly. There's just not one part of this level where you're like, oh, that doesn't fit Castle DDD. No, everything in this level fits the theme of the level. It's like, oh, it feels like a real fucking place, to be honest. It does feel like King DDD's castle. I just wish that you fought King DDD after this, because you fight this motherfucker 2 worlds before his level. It's like, what? Come on, what is that? But other than that, I mean, you know, it is what it is. This is a fantastic level. Now, coming in at number 5 on my top 5, we got Frosty Wheel. Now, you might be looking at this list. You might agree with everything I've said so far, but as soon as I said Frosty Wheel, you go, hold on, blow the whistle, wait a minute, what's going on? Why is an ice level with ice physics at number 5? What is going on? There's so many better levels in this game. Why is Frosty Wheel here? And I'm going to hear and say this. What if this level was the only level in the game to have ice physics? But when you turned into a car, like every other level, you turn into a sled and gain super speed and can start skidding over water. What if I told you that? You would say, well, damn, that's pretty cool. And I will say to you, you're goddamn right, and that's why Frosty Wheel is pretty cool. Sledding around this entire level is so fun, even though the atmosphere is just a bleak winter landscape. The gameplay trumps all. The gameplay is phenomenal. In the end, where you have to do like the dash sled jumps, oh my goodness, bro. It's giving me Donkey Kong Country minecart flashbacks with some of those jumps, and that is a good thing. Just everything of just the gameplay is just so good in this level. You got the enemies that freeze you. They can be annoying, but guess what? That's, you know, any bit of challenge is welcome in this game. I don't care if it's annoying or not. We need challenge in this game. I mean, it's lacking desperately, which I know it's not supposed to be a challenging game, but still, we appreciate it when it's here. But I mean, just no level flows better than this level. Sliding around everywhere is the best feeling in this game. Even though this is only the number 5th best level, the slide, the gameplay, that's only in this one level, it is not underappreciated by me. And if you never thought much about this level, go back and play it, and I promise you, you are sleeping on Frosty Wheel, man. Even the outside of this level is goated with the Frosty Wheel around the door to enter the level. Man, number 5 is Frosty Wheel. Deal with it. Ironically, the way I cool off from talking about Frosty Wheel is coming over to Lava Landing. And man, oh man, I cannot believe that this level is not in the top 3. I mean, it starts off with enemies dropping fucking bombs on you. What the hell is going on? And then you start venturing into the volcano. Things are getting amped up. I almost said hamped up. What the hell does hamped up mean? I don't even know. This level has me saying new words. That's how crazy it is. And you start venturing into the volcano. Each jump has you falling into magma, hot lava. So you gotta watch your step. You got enemies sinking into the lava when you jump on them. So you gotta put a little pep in your step. You gotta take out little volcanoes in the volcano. What's going on? Is this a volcano mom giving volcano babies? Who's volcano daddy? What's going on? This level's so cool, I might be volcano daddy. God damn. And then, that's only halfway through the level. And then in the other half, you start climbing up the fucking volcano and the lava's chasing you from underneath. It's 2 levels into 1, and it's just so cool. And then there's a fire truck part, which, was whatever. It only lasts 10 seconds, but I last 7, so I can't really diss them. So, just this level it's lava landing. Everybody knows lava landing, man. One of the best levels, one of the only reasons to ever go back and play World 2, other than that one Dusk Dunes level. Other than that, World 2's a little lacking, a little bit, I will say. Probably my least favorite world of the game, but still, this level makes it goated. I don't care. Each world is goated. And then I will say, little tidbit of information. This song in this level is not only the best song in the game, but actually made me want to learn how to play piano. And now I can play little bits of the song. I still can't play the whole song yet. I'm not that good, I don't spend a lot of time playing my piano, but when I get my chance, ooh-wee, I've been trying to learn It's Pizza Time from Pizza Tower 2. That song is hard as fuck though. But yeah, oh my god, I love this level, and it's only number 4. So let's see what's number 3. Now, I don't think I'm spitting any hot takes here. I think any and every human soul that has ever played this game has Melody Town in at least their top 5, if not their top 3. I mean, it's Melody Town. Everybody knows Melody Town. I mean, fuck, bro. A whole level based on music and instruments and every little platform and swing and strum of a string that you do in this level has little collectible treasures that fucking flow out and flow with the music. And oh my god, and the treasures are in little custom little models of little music notes. And you can run across pianos that flow with the... And then there's the little parts where you fucking turn into like a little music note on a sheet of notes, and you have to collect the things, and you gotta be in the right section at the right time. It's like a cool little mini game in between. Man, this is, oh my god. And it's only number 3, man. Only number 3. Oh my goodness. Yep, so most of y'all probably had this level at number 1, bro. Melody Town is... I won't lie. When I think of Kirby's, I don't know how many times I've said this statement, but a lot of the time when I think of Kirby's Epic Yarn, I think of this level. I remember playing this level at my grandma's house on her Nintendo Wii for the first time with my little cousin, bro. I remember coming home from school and like, you know what? We just unlocked the water world. Fuck water levels, man. We're playing Melody Town again. Coming into number 2, the silver runner-up, we got Cloud Palace. Now, I will not lie to you. I was sleeping on this level a good majority of my life. I always remember this level as a level that wasn't really that cool, whatever. Just give me the castle DDD. But after replaying it once, twice, 3, 4 times. I already played this level 4 times back to back because it was so fucking good. It is easily the second place in this game. Dude, listen, this level has it all. It literally has it all. It has a cool transformation at the end. It has really good platforming. It has really good scenery. I just love the Cloud Palace. Oh, it looks so cool. And then you got the swinging platforming where you got to swing and you got to catch the buttons midair every swing. And it's not like all other portions of the game where you get like 1 or maybe 2 swings in and then you get some room to breathe. No, you're constantly have to juggle yourself in the air and catch these buttons so you don't fall. And then you got a platform on like these moving clouds, which can be kind of weird and awkward to time if you're not used to it, which is just super fun because they bounce you kind of high. They're fun to fuck around with. And then halfway through the level, this big-ass boss comes in and he like tries to hit you with lightning, so you got to outrun him. And then later in the level, at the end, you have to fight him in the sideways star shooter transformation. I think this is easily the best. I think it's only in 2 levels, honestly. I think the star shooter is in this level and Battleship Halberd. And even though Battleship Halberd's pretty fucking good, it's way better in this level. The boss fight at the end of the level is way better in this level. The scenery is way better. Just everything about this level is so fucking good. And the only reason that this is not number 1 is because let's just get into number 1. Number 1 is undoubtedly, undisputedly the champion of the game. Number 1 is Toy Tracks. Listen, this entire masterpiece of a video game, this entire thing was based around this level. I swear to God, the game was literally made so this level could be in the game. I shit you not. I don't know what else you're putting in number 1 other than toy tracks. Oh, you can't. You cannot. Toy tracks is Kirby's Epic Yarn. Everything that makes Kirby's Epic Yarn goated is toy tracks. Everything. So many fucking custom set pieces, custom enemies, fucking the robots crushing you, the part where you fucking peel off the Nutcracker's hat and see his cool little haircut. That's just kind of detail you don't see in games no more, man. You know, just everything, just the whole toy, you know, yarn aesthetic. It's just fucking perfected here. It's just so fucking fun and it flows so good. And the theming, oh my God, the theme. Are you kidding me? This level is the theming. I swear to God, fuck the game being made for this. You know, listen. This level was not made for the game. This level already existed, and they said, let's make a game around it. I swear to God, that's exactly what happened. Trust me. And then, I'm just thinking of how much stuff. And then there's a part where you gotta fucking sew like a little teddy bear's fucking foot shut so you can progress. You gotta make him happy. It's like, you just don't see that in games now. What happened? But there's one piece of evidence. There is one piece of evidence that I can say. You can call in fucking Phoenix Wright and Saul Goodman, and you're still not winning against my case here. This level has a train section, and it's still the GOAT! I don't care. Video over. I hope everyone who's watching this knows that you are important, you are valuable, and you are significant. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I enjoyed playing this game and making the video on the game. I hope to catch you guys next time for next week's video, but if not, this is the drop-off. Take the utmost ever-loving care.